we often heal these wounds of the heart through play with kids. So the family brought a child in because he wasn't doing well at school. The teacher would give him an assignment, and he'd kind of collapse and say, I can't do it. I don't want to do it. And she couldn't understand why, because it was something he was capable of doing. So they heard of my type of therapy, and they decided to bring him in. So he came in, and I said, wow, we got all these play things. You want to play? And I said, you can come up with your own game. He started to collapse. How do we start things? Collapse. I said, well, you can play with this or this, and, you don't have to come up with a game. And then all of a sudden he said, oh, okay. All right, Dad, you get on the floor, on all fours. And the father's like, am I really supposed to do that? And I said, yeah, this is play. You get on all fours. Okay, Wendy, you and my mom, he puts a futon, kind of this futon bed, way up high, and we sit on the other side. He said, okay, you girls are over there. And he said, okay, Dad, I'm going to ride you. And we're going to charge the castle gate. And we're going to charge it. And it's going to fall over. And then we're all going to kind of go like this together, okay? Okay. And it gets more and more. He is so excited about it. So the gate goes down. We all tumble in together. We're laughing. And he says, again. So, with kids, do it again. And the third time, he says, ready or not, here we come. So I had the intuitive hit as we kind of calmed down a little bit. And I said, how was he conceived? Was there anything, unique about it? And the mom said, well, we weren't planning on having another child. We had a diaphragm. Ready or not, here we come. He's riding his dad's sperm right in there. We're going to go through that gate. We're going to all get tousled in there together. And that's how kids play out their stories. And so we said, that's how it really happened. You just played out how you were conceived. So as we're quieting down and we say to him, that's how it happened. And I'm thinking, he has problems at the beginning at school. So usually we're in the cycle, the beginning of, and I said, well, you were using a diaphragm, you weren't planning on having children. How did you feel when you found out you were pregnant with him? And I could tell they were starting to go into that protective mode, like, we don't want to talk about this in front of him, kind of feeling. And I said, I just feel like some part of him is already with this, and it'd be helpful to talk about it. And his mom very hesitantly said, well, we were a little upset. And as she says the word upset, her 4-year-old son yells, you were mad. And I said, were you mad? And she said, very hesitantly, we both were really, really mad that I got pregnant. We didn't want a baby. We were upset the whole pregnancy. This is not the plan. And as she's saying these things, and of course she was hesitant to say them, her son crawled away and just sobbed. And when they saw the realness of his pain, their hearts just opened and they said, oh, we are so sorry. We didn't know babies knew these things or felt these things. We never would have want you to feel that our anger and our upset that you were here. We are so sorry. We love you. We love you. We want you as our son, I'm so sorry. And he started crawling back to her lap. And he put his head on her lap and just let her stroke his head. And the next week they came back in and the mom said, For the first time in his entire life, he asked me to tuck him into bed and tell him a story and snuggle. He had never wanted to do that with me before. And that's what we find. Something of the story gets stuck in these very conscious beings that we are, that needs help healing. And the power is recognizing and acknowledging and being willing to be vulnerable enough to go into that territory together with your heart open. And it transforms the whole family. And so I find pre and perinatal healing work is some of the most potent, heart-opening, heart transformational work on the planet.